Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. Children, as you all are aware that we were doing chapter 8 body movements, and in this chapter yesterday we had started movement of some living organism which do not have skeleton in their body. Skeleton here I am going to talk about gait of animals, movement of animals, those who do not have skeleton in their body or any kind of a bony framework. They have muscles, and through the contraction and expansion of those muscles, they are walking through. So gait of animals, yesterday we have done in gait of animals, gait of animals, one of the important topic of this chapter. Like before this topic we have done that a bony framework which is present in your body that will only allow movement in some particular direction. So what do we mean by gait of animals? Gait of animals means movement of animals which allow moving of their body without a bony framework. Here I am going to take an example of earthworm. In an earthworm, we do not find a bony framework, but then also earthworm shows the movement. Yesterday I told you that if you want to see the movement of earthworm, you just kept that earthworm on a piece of a paper and then find it out that how they are moving. Now a body of earthworm is ring-like structure and then expanding and contracting their back. By this they are moving forward. Then we have snail next. And here I have told you to mark the body of an earthworm is made up of many rings joined end to end. An earthworm does not have bones. It has muscles which help to extend and shorten the body. Now during the movement, the earthworm first extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear portion fixed to the ground. Then it fixes the front end and releases the rear end. It then shortens the body and pulls the rear end forward. This makes its movement forward by a small distance. Repeating such muscles expansion and contraction, the earthworm can move through soil. Now its body secretes a slimy substance to help the movement. Due to this slimy substance which was excreted by earthworm, that is due to that slimy substance only they won't be able to walk on a glass. If I keep them on some slippery surface, then they won't be able to walk easily. Now the earthworm actually eats its way through the soil. Now its body then throw away the undigested part of the material that it eats. This activity of an earthworm makes the soil more useful for plants. Now earthworm is also known as farmer's friend. Farmer's friend. Why it is so? Since undigested part which was thrown by earthworm, that will create or that will form a manure in the soil and it will increase the fertility of the soil. So all these reasons are so important to make the earthworm such an important part of agriculture. So agriculture, the people those who are joining with agriculture or those who belong to agriculture field, they can conclude from this like earthworm, why earthworm is known as farmer's friend. Now after earthworm we have done snail. After earthworm we have done snail. Now snail are also do not have that bony structure in their body. Even they have been covered with a shell kind of a structure. Shell kind of a structure on their upper part of the body. Now that shell kind of a structure is provide protection to their body, and then sticky rest of the part is and the snail is also moving with that same concept of earthworm, that is moving through their expansion and contraction of the muscles. Now on its back you have seen like a hump like a structure. and hard, it is made up of hard material, that is a shell. Now this is called the shell and it is the outer skeleton of the snail, but is not made of bones. The shell is a single unit and does not help in moving from place to place. It has to be dragged along. Now place the snail on a glass plate and watch it. When it starts moving, carefully lift the glass plate along with the snail over your head. Now observe its movement from beneath. A thick structure and the head of the snail may come out of an opening in the shell. The thick structure is its foot made of strong muscles. Now carefully tilt the glass plate. The wavy motion of the foot can be seen and it shows the movement of it. So all these things are very important, how the animals are showing movement. Like after this, in this I am going to add on today, that is number 3, that is cockroach. Cockroach. Now cockroach is the movement of cockroach. Now in their body also no skeleton is there, but if we will see cockroach carefully from the back, you will find it out that some bony structure is there. Now cockroaches walk and climb as well as fly in the air. Now they have 3 pair of legs. These help in walking. The body is covered with a hard outer skeleton. This outer skeleton is made of different units joined together and that permits movement. Now there are 2 pair of wings attached to the breast. The cockroaches have distinct muscles. Those near the legs move the legs for walking. Now the breast muscles move the wings when the cockroaches flies. Now cockroaches walk and climb as well as fly in the air. So cockroach is quite normal animal or insect which you all have seen at your home also. They have 3 pair of legs which help them to crawl, to climb, and they have 2 pair of wings also. Now the wings are attached to their breastbone. Wings are attached to their breastbone and with the help of those wings they can fly easily. Now there are 2 pair of wings attached to the breast. The cockroaches have distinct muscles. Those near the legs move the legs for walking. The breast muscles move the wings when the cockroaches flies. Now the cockroaches can fly also with these 2 pair of wings. Now very important thing is this, like cockroaches have that bird kind of a feature also, that they can fly also up to some extent. They cannot fly a long distance, but they can fly up to some extent. And they have antenna in their front. These antenna is used like a sensor. They can use their antenna to sense few things. They touch with that particular thing and then they will put it on their brain to get a sense of it. Now birds, now cockroaches, again these 3 are very important gait of animals if we are doing a movement of animals, those who do not have backbone. So these 3, earthworms, snail and cockroaches, are very important. Now in birds, if I talk about birds, we found a skeleton, a proper skeleton, we will find it out in birds. But in these 3, earthworms, snail and cockroaches, we do not find any skeleton, but in cockroaches we have outer skeleton. But instead, they can allow movement. They allow movement in different direction very easily. They allow movement in different direction quite easily. So that is there. Now we will be doing how gait of animal, how birds are doing or showing animals, movement of animals, movement of birds. Since birds are having skeleton in their body and they fly in the air and walk on the ground. So that we will be doing next. And birds skeleton, a proper bony framework is present in bird's body, and how they perform uh, this movement, so that we will do it.
So, students, as we have seen just now, that animals show different types of movement. So, movement and locomotion, what do we understand by this? Movement is a distinguishing characteristics of animals in muscle, cell contraction, and ambioid movement, that is, the cellular system is based on microfilaments and all these things. So, movement is a distinguished characteristics of animal, that only you have to remember. Then, locomotion. Locomotion means what? Locomotion means active travel from place to place, means shifting from one place to another place, that is only locomotion. And they require energy to overcome two forces that tend to keep an animal stationary. Now, friction and gravity. So, these two things are required so that they can allow movement. Although just now we have seen example of earthworm also, and earthworm, how does they walk? So that is again an example of locomotion only. So animals swim in diverse ways. Now locomotion, if I'll talk here about fish, so they swim in diverse ways. Different types of fishes swim in different ways. So one of the way is like they have streamlined motion, and that is common of all. Now example 1, if you can see on the screen, that is insects use their legs as oars to push against the water. So insects which live inside the sea or ocean, they use their oars to move in the water. After that, we have squids, scallops, and some jellies are jet propelled, taking in water and squirting it out in burst. Now, fishes swim by moving their body and tail from side to side. So, that is again one kind of a movement which shown by fishes. So, here, if I'm going to mention next is like animals, if I'll talk in that, like dog, cat, or whatever, they use their limbs only to walk. So a walking animal moves each leg in turn, overcoming friction between the foot and the ground with each step. Now here crawling, which I have told you just now, that is locomotion in earthworm. You can see the structure of earthworm also. Now animals that have no limbs or very short limbs drag their bodies along the ground in a crawling movement. Because much of the animal's body is in contact with the ground, its energy is mainly expended to overcome friction rather than gravity. Because much of the animals is in contact with the ground, its energy is mainly expanded to overcome friction. Now, as you can see on the screen, that earthworm mainly find it out in soil. It is not like that when we have rain or some kind of a things, then only we can find out earthworm in the soil. Earthworm, most of the time they are present in the soil. They help to make the soil fertile. So they do not have limbs. Limbs means they do not have leg, they do not have hand. Limbs here, limbs means leg and hand. So they do not have legs or hand, but they allow movement in forward direction. Now, which allows them to move forward, that is their body structure. Their body is made up of ring like structure, and with that ring like structure they have small brushes like hair also, and which they will stick to the ground, and they expand their body in the front and then contract from the back, then contract from the front and then expand from the back. So this process continues, and then they allow movement in front. Now, if first will this, if you want to write it, you can write down somewhere that animals that have no limbs or very short limbs drag their body along the ground in a crawling movement. So earthworm is walking by crawling only. Then we have done snail. So snail also will come in this only. Snail will also comes in this only, that snail also allows movement by crawling only. Again, expansion and contraction is the process which they are going to follow. Then cockroaches, which we have done, cockroaches have limbs, they have 3 pairs of leg and they can easily walk with that. Now next is animals, birds. Major mode of animals locomotion, that is birds. Now birds have limbs also, like leg also, 2 pair of leg or 1 pair of legs, and then they have 1 pair of wings also. Wings are so connected with their body, with their breastbone, and they the strength of their breastbone, they allow flying the bird easily in the sky. Now few animals groups like insects, reptile, including birds also, among the mammal and bats. Cockroaches also have wings. Cockroaches, which we have done just now, they also have wings. So birds, they have 1 pair of wings, and which allows movement in different directions, and quite easy since they have hollow bones in their wings, and which is light in weight, and these wings were so connected with their body, like with their breastbone, and these hollow bones allow movement easily. So easily they fly, and then they show locomotion or movement. Now locomotion, loco means when location will be in motion. When motion changed its location, that is locomotion. So it is none other than movement only. So children, do not get confused that locomotion ma'am is doing something else. So it is not something else. Locomotion is yet another word for movement only. Movement, uh, birds, animals, insects, they are showing movement, and that movement change their location, change their place. That is why that movement is known as locomotion. So we'll come to next, how they will be easily fly in the sky, or what type of skeleton they have. Since earthworm do not have bones, do not have limbs, so their structure we are not going to, skeleton we are not going to mention, but skeleton functions in support, movement and protection. So what is the function of skeleton? That is, there are 3 main types of skeleton, that is hydrostatic skeleton, exoskeleton and endoskeleton. Hydrostatic skeleton, how does they work? Hydrostatic skeleton, how does they work? That we will understand. Like skeleton is must for a body of a bird, insect or animal, that they provide they provide the proper shape to the body of a bird, to the body of a movement and protection of it. Now, three main types of skeleton, that is hydrostatic skeleton, exoskeleton and endoskeleton. So, hydrostatic, exoskeleton and endoskeleton, that we are going to understand about. These type of skeleton we will find it out. Now, skeleton is very important. As I told you, different parts of our body, different parts of a skeleton of our body, and how they are important all. So, hydrostatic skeleton, that is consists of fluid held under pressure in a closed body compartment. So, consists of fluid held under pressure in a closed body compartment. So, in some of the insects, you will find it out that fluid is present in their body, and that fluid also secrete and allows movement to that insect. So that comes in hydrostatic skeleton. Now these animals or these insects can easily walk with the help of these jelly-like substance which is filled in their body. Like here I am going to take example of earthworm also. As you can see two diagrams here, that is again insects which is having fluid like structure filled with in their body. So the fluid which is filled in their body, that kind of a skeleton is known as hydrostatic skeleton. Now they help protect other body parts by cushioning them from shocks, and it also gives the body shape and provides support for muscle action. They help protect other body part by cushioning them from shock, and it also gives the body shape and provides support for muscle action. So these all things are very important. Go through all these slides, and if you want to write like hydrostatic skeleton, what are the function of hydrostatic skeleton and what is the importance of this type of skeleton, that you all can find it out. Now there here it is that like hydrostatic skeleton, fluid is consist inside it, and then under pressure in a closed body compartment, they help protect other body part by cushioning them from shocks, and it also gives the body shape and provides support for muscle action. So that all it happens here. Now we'll come to next, that is exoskeleton. Exoskeleton, that is rigid. Exo means outside, the skeleton which is present outside the body of that animal, that is rigid. External skeleton, exoskeleton is rigid external skeleton. Characteristics of the phylum Arthropoda, a group that includes insects, spider and crustacean such as crabs. So these insects, spider and crabs have this exoskeleton. And what is the characteristics that includes insect, spider and this, that is such as crabs. So the same characteristics were there of all these three insects which have this type of exoskeleton they have. So now next is endoskeleton, the skeleton which is present inside their body, consists of hard and leathery supporting elements situated among the soft tissues of an animal. So here we have done three types of skeleton, that is hydrostatic skeleton, exoskeleton and endo. Endo means inside the body. The skeleton which is found inside the body, that is your endoskeleton. So endoskeleton we will be finding in the inside of insects, and that is responsible for supporting elements also. So all these endoskeleton is very important. Endoskeleton which is present inside the insects is very important. Now skeleton plays an important role like hydrostatic skeleton. The insects which have hydrostatic skeleton, their fluid help them to allow movement. Similarly in exoskeleton, the skeleton which is present outside the body of animal, they support them, they provide a proper shape to them, they provide strength to them. So that will be there. Now vertebrate skeleton, that is our human body skeleton, that is the whole part is not required to do it. The vertebrate skeleton means we have this whole skeleton of our body, different part. Above one is skull, then we have the rib cage, then we have bony structure of hand, arm, then hip bone and different. So this whole structure, although we have already done, here you can pause the video and you can zoom it, and then you can find it out the different part of it. So as you can see on the screen, here above we were talking about skull, then we have vertebrae or vertebras, then rib cage here, then we have hand bone, and then we have leg bone. So different part, femur, the thigh bone, the other name of thigh bone. It is not necessary to remember all these parts, but some of the part you can go through it. So now all vertebrates have an axial skeleton supporting the axis or trunk of the body. All vertebrates have an axial skeleton supporting the axis or trunk of the body. Now it consists of skull, vertebral column, backbone, and in most vertebrates, rib cage is important. So you just go through all these skeleton which we have done. Like axial skeleton is mostly find it out in human being. That is consist of skull, vertebral column, backbone, and in most vertebrates we have rib cage also. So that is consist of skull, vertebral column and all, and go through that. I hope there is no doubt in this type of skeleton. So that is type of skeleton is quite clear to you all. Axial skeleton supporting the axis or trunk of the body, consists of skull, vertebral column, and in most vertebrates we have rib cage. So this axial skeleton, we found it out in humans, and we will be discussing this axial skeleton later. Today we have done few things that you all are going to revise, that is types of skeleton and locomotion, that is movement, how they show and what kind of a movement they show, that we have done. You just go through the movement of animals, insects, that is very important, and you will be finding that what kind of a movement they show, that is very very important in this chapter. You just go through it, and if you find it out any issue, any problem, any doubt, that will be shared in the class, that will be detailed in the class. So here today I am going to finish the class. You just go through the slides, you will finding some important points which you can jot down somewhere, and if you don't, you just go through it. These pictures, these diagrams will help you understand a lot. That is why I am taking these pictures, since this whole skeleton, this body movement we have done in the bookish form only. So that is why I am taking all these pictures. So that's all for today, children. Have a good day. Here one more thing, if you will find it out that anything which is important in the slides, you can jot down somewhere, you can write down as a definition also. So then doubt will be taking in the class itself, and whatever will be doubt, that can be clear. So bye bye.